What's up YouTube? Welcome back. It's RJ and today we're breaking out another pair of Adidas. We're gonna be looking at and breaking down the SL20. I'll tell you guys what I like, what I don't like, and everything else in between. So without further ado, let's dive right in. If you're interested, we've got a pretty plain black box, Adidas performance logos all over the place. Size tag as usual. Again, the Adidas SL20, a very minimal runner, lower end as far as pricing goes. Quality's there, cushioning is there. I'll break everything down. Left and right are exactly the same. As usual, we'll go ahead, put one aside, take a look at the left. So what we're looking at is essentially a full mesh upper, all the way from the toe box to about the ankle area right here. And then your back panel is gonna be wrapped in almost a synthetic, I'd say probably a synthetic leather material, perforated both right and left sides. And under those perforations, you can obviously see hits of the orange that is featured all throughout the midsole area, which we'll come to in just a minute, as well as the tongue tag that goes all the way down the length of the tongue, as well as the lace aglet. So there's gonna be hits of that orange all throughout the shoe. Almost has a little bit of the coral hue as it gradients into the white. Nonetheless though, we're gonna stick to orange just to make things a little simpler. And then on the lateral portion and the medial portions of the shoe, we have almost a felt feeling material. I don't think it's necessarily felt, probably more of a synthetic suede, something along those lines. You've got perforations on the medial portion. And then if you switch back to the lateral side, you have the SL20 logo right there. Coming back to the lateral, we do have the Adidas 3-stripe branding right there on the side of the shoe. And that's pretty typical for just about every running shoe that we take a look at here these days. Coming up to the laces, we've got reinforcement all the way around the entire lacing area. And it's basically just a heat transfer or whatever you want to call it, overlay right there, just to reinforce the laces, make sure we got enough support there so the laces aren't tearing through the lace holes and whatnot. You've got one pair of gray laces to match the upper mesh area. As for the tongue, it actually looks, well, it is detached, but they do have a little bit of stitching on each side to keep it in place. Literally what they need to do to every single tongue. I love that. If you guys have been watching the channel at all, from the jump, I've talked about how much I hate detached tongues just because they slide left to right. This one does not have that issue. This one will stay right in place because of the stitching that they added to it, running up the side areas of the tongue right there. So I got to give a huge shout out to Adidas. Obviously they didn't hear it from me, but somebody put a word in, and that's super dope. Back to the tongue, you do have a full mesh tongue, and then it's just got a little bit of a border, almost the same material that we have here on the sides of the shoe that I spoke on earlier. And lastly, before we bounce away from the tongue, you do have a tiny little Adidas Performance logo right there on that pull tab that I mentioned already. Inner liner feels like typical nylon, nothing super special, but definitely worth mentioning. Insole is removable, says Light Strike right there. A little bit of padding, not too much. Obviously the same color orange that we've seen on the outer portions of the shoe. I'll talk about the Light Strike in just a moment. So like I said, we'll head down to the midsole now. And as you saw on the insole, it did say Light Strike. Light Strike is going to be the cushioning system that is featured on this shoe. Only other shoe that I've personally spoke on that features that Light Strike cushioning is the Harden 4 basketball sneaker. I'll go ahead and link that at the end of the video if you're interested in that for whatever reason. Again though, Light Strike from the entire length of the shoe, all the way underneath the toe box, back here to the heel portion of the shoe. And essentially that's just a newer foam cushioning system from Adidas. And as you can see, I already mentioned, we do have that orange to coral all the way to white gradient as far as the color goes. And it's pretty soft. It's not anything that I would say is super spectacular, but it is a step above, I guess, the typical EVA midsoles that we've gotten used to. As far as weight goes though, extremely lightweight shoe. So not gonna be something that bogs you down when you're running and when you're out there actually putting the shoe to use. So that is good. As far as weight goes, they have reduced that, and I have a feeling that that's a big selling point as far as the Light Strike goes. And you know, it does keep the price down, you know, away from the Boost sneakers and everything else up in that category. Flipping over to the outsole area of the shoe, we do have Continental branded rubber featured on this sneaker as well. Black on the forefoot and then white underneath the heel back here. You do have a little bit of Adidas branding right there. As you can see on the middle portion of the shoe, that same coral orange that we've seen up top, but that's actually going to be the torsion system on this shoe. Pretty slim in design, but a lot wider than we're used to seeing on most runners that we've taken a look at. For those of you who don't know, that's just I guess a fork. That's usually what I refer to it as, but it kind of stretches out over the outer areas of the shoe on the forefoot and then back here on the heel as well. And basically that just adds a little bit of stability and support. So when the shoe is actually getting torqued left and right, it keeps you on the ground, helps you from injuries and everything along those lines. So it is nice that Adidas did stick that in the silhouette, considering the fact that it is again a lower end runner as far as price goes. And we'll go ahead and jump into that. You're looking at 120 bucks USD. And like I said, it's a decent sneaker for the price. You've got the light strike, you've got the torsion system, full mesh upper. Definitely a decent runner for the price, I would say. I'd like it a little bit more if it came in right around 100 bucks. I have a feeling that some of them will go on sale. They just dropped a few better colorways in my opinion today actually, but I wanted to get this out and share my thoughts on this one with you guys. As far as comfort goes, I'm gonna give them a 7 out of 10, just because it's not really up there with all the Boost sneakers that I'm used to speaking on. And obviously with the price difference, I wouldn't expect the same comfort, but it definitely is, you know, decently comfy. It's wearable, not something of the upper echelon, I guess, for lack of better words. As far as sizing goes, I did go true to size. I'm a true 10.5, and they felt great. I wouldn't go any bigger or any smaller. Only thing worth mentioning though is they are a bit narrow. So if you do have a rather large foot, you might want to size up a half size. Again, Adidas has a great return policy, so you can kind of play around with sizing. Isn't something that's really going to sell out or be limited, so worth keeping in mind. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about this particular colorway or this silhouette in general, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. I do my best to get back to every single person who does so. Other than that, I will throw these on feet and give you guys a better look at them aesthetically, and that's gonna do it. If you're brand new to the channel, do me a humongous favor. Tap that subscribe button, hit the bell, get an alert every single time I drop a video on this channel, and before you leave, hit that thumbs up. Guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Until next time, again, I'm RJ. Peace out.
Yeah.